Bioelectrogenesis. There are two different classifications of electric fish: weakly electric fish and strongly electric fish. There are over 350 different weakly electric fish, meaning they have less than 1 volt of power output. And the strongly electric ones are the ones with over volts, and there aren't very many of those, but I'll go over a few strongest, I guess. There's the electric eel with around 600 volts of whatever. Catfish, like 350, and the electric ray, 220 volts. Before I talk about how they make the electricity happen, I want to explain electric fields. I didn't take any notes for this, so rough. Basically, there's electricity, goes through the water. Fish gets hit by the electricity, and the muscles contract because of the electricity, so they can't move very well. That's it. Now, I'm going to get into the meat of the matter. It's bioelectrogenesis. Inside an electric fish, there are a bunch of these stacks of little disc-shaped cells called electrocytes, and they produce potassium and sodium ions to maintain a positive charge outside and negative inside. Nerve signals open up ion channels, which is what's on the bottom left there, which are apparently in like all cells, which just allow for the flow of ions, and it rearranges them like this so that potassium ions flow to one side, creating a positive charge on one side of the inside, negative on the other side, etc., etc. It's on the screen, you see it. This causes a, not exactly a domino effect, because it's simultaneous, but it sets off cells around it and creates like a cascade of current. And so this is basically the discharge of electricity caused by alternating charges. Nerve signals for all these electrocyte stacks reach them at basically the exact same time. So all of these little stacks output small amounts of electricity at the same time and electrocute things. So, I wanted to point out that this is really similar to something called a Marx generator, where you basically take a really long time to charge up a ton of capacitors, and then you let all the capacitors discharge. So basically, you charge up a battery and then you let all the energy come out at once. Since they're smaller, it's easier for it to come out faster. Anyways, there are 3 organs in electric fish. Not all 3 are present in every electric fish, but they are in electric eel, which is why I'm using this example. There's the main electric organ, which an electric eel uses for the initial shock and detection of prey. There's the hunter's electric organ. Once it like gets a hold of the prey or whatever, it shocks it until it's incapacitated, hopefully with that. And then there's the SOX electric organ, which is just used for things like navigation and communication. Sometimes a stronger pulse is used to cause prey to twitch so that they can see where they are. It's also used for courting a mate sometimes. Also, obviously, I already talked about this, but it shocks other fish. It's used for catching prey and not dying. And most fish have electroreceptors, so they can feel electric impulses from other fish when they move or even like from their heartbeat. That's the end, but I'd like to point out I did find like a 40-something page essay on how this concept could be weaponized. And I thought it was interesting, but I didn't read it, so I'm gonna put the link in the description maybe if I'd find it. That's the end of the